Good afternoon. Welcome. Oh my goodness, I have been gone so long. And if you are here, let me know. This is Pat Mayer from Northeast Ohio. I'm in Akron, Ohio. And my last live was, I believe, September 12th. And here it is, October 10th. So after quite a long trip out of town, I am finally back. And I'm so excited to be here. I've missed doing my lives every Monday. So I'll be back on track. And this is episode 99. I cannot believe that either. So I will have to come up with something real special for next week's 100th. So let me show you my face a little bit first. There I am. So since I'm not sure if many of you figured out that I was going to be back today, I will probably just get started here very quickly. And then if you're here, just hop on. If not, you can catch the replay either on Facebook or on YouTube. So let's move this over. Okay, just kind of catching my breath here. And because when I came down to my studio, also known as my basement, I did have some things to clean up from that I hadn't done before I left town. And so that was kind of crazy too. Hi, Gloria. I'm so glad you're watching. Thank you. Welcome too. Okay, one person's here, so I'm ready to go. And so today I am using the Fond of Autumn stamp set. So not sure you can see that. So let's go back to my desktop. Totally, there we go. And I love autumn. And let me tell you, the trees up here are just gorgeous. We had hoped to see some pretty fall colors on our way south, but it was just a little bit too early. So now everything is in full color, and it's just gorgeous. Hello, Fran, welcome. So the Fond of Autumn stamp set, I don't know if I mentioned this, I did order while I was in Texas. I didn't get a chance to do as much stamping there as I thought. I had limited supplies of things that I had taken with me, and sometimes things just don't work when you don't have your own space. I just haven't been able to make that work. So I did play around with it a little bit, but not very much. But I did learn a lot about it. It is amazing. And this isn't just for autumn. I have seen some cards done with this with different color format, not having the leaves so much, but the flowers, and make it into a Christmas card. So perhaps I'll be able to show one of those next week, just to show you a sample. I just didn't get a chance to do it today. But let me tell you about this set. It is so versatile. Other than the autumn wishes and maybe looking at these oak leaves, you can make so many things out of this. So let me start with, where do we go here? The dies and the stamps. Okay. When I first got this, I put this on a big block. Well, actually, I did not have a big block. That was part of the problem. I hadn't taken a very big block with me. And I looked at this, and I did stamp it. I think I used, when you don't have a big block, I just stamped with something like this. And this is what I got. But let me show you what my first thought was, because I hadn't even opened the dies yet. I did not know what all was in there, but I looked at this stamp and I thought, oh wow, this is gorgeous. I can fussy cut these and make it you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, because there was enough space between to be able to cut this out. I just kind of assumed, we know that's not the best word in the world, assumed that I could get one full cut out of this, which I can. With this die. Whoops, upside down. You can go either way, I guess. And that would cut out the whole thing. And that's what I was just figuring that the die would do. So I didn't even look at the dies until I started fussy cutting this out. And then, silly me, I opened the dies and I saw this one. And realized that this die also cuts it in 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So that's the versatility of it. Like this, you can just do that on a card. You can cut it out like this on a card so that it's like that. Do it like this and get 4 pieces, which is what I'm going to do today. And then hold on to your hat here. There is this die that gives you all of this detail. It doesn't cut out the stamp like this, if you can see what I'm saying. It really doesn't match up with that. But it gives you something like this, which is what I'm going to use today. Okay, so this is just the detail in a piece of gold, which I'll explain in a minute. And this will cut this out too, so you can have it as a separate piece. It's just very, very versatile. So I've already done some of the work already to show you the card that I'm going to make. And just to save some time, let me match this back up here again, which way this goes. So anyway, and then we also have a banner and a small leaf, an acorn, and a flower that also can get cut out from the stamps. So there's a little oak leaf, a little acorn, and a flower, as well as some beautiful sentiments. So that's the set and dies in a nutshell there. So let's get this. I had these going in the wrong way. That was the deal. So there we go with that. So this is itself, but can also be cut out with this. This one will also cut out the full stamp. This will cut the stamp out in 4 pieces, and then these individuals. So you really have a lot going here for this. All right, let's get going. And what I'm going to do is use this piece of, I always forget the name of this particular gold. It's distressed gold paper. It's in the annual catalog on page, guess I didn't put the page down, but I did post-it note it. Yes, it is. You get 2 sheets of 12 by 12 with this. There it is. Distressed Gold is on page 139, and it goes with the Texture Chic Suite from page 98 and 99, which I've also done too, as a beautiful card. So there it shows here with that suite of products. But it's gorgeous. But again, it's 2 sheets for $5, and it's stunning. What can I say about that? So I'm going to do this. I've already cut it out. It does take a little bit of pushing through your die cutting machine because of that fine detail. And I think I rolled it through maybe 3 or 4 times. I'm going to put that on a piece of early espresso. And this is 5.5 by 8.5. And it is scored at 4 1/4. So that's going to go on here. And it can go either way. Doesn't make any difference. I also have a piece that's going to go on the inside. Now, on this one, I'm using Very Vanilla. I did a card. I started doing this with the basic white, and I didn't like it. It was too stark. And I also used the Memento Black because I'm going to be using Stampin' Blends. And Memento Black is the one that you typically use for the blends, the alcohol markers. But I have found or learned that Early Espresso is one of the colors that, if you're careful, I didn't have any trouble with it bleeding, that you can use this also with your Stampin' Blends. So there are a few others. Again, the Memento Black is the preferred one, but you have some wiggle room and options to use this other one too. So this is going to go on the inside, but I'll stamp that again when I'm finished to put that on the inside. And also stamp the envelope, which I forgot to bring over, so I may not do that. All right. So let's add this to the card base, and I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal. And this is just single-sided paper. It is 12 by 12, but it's not the regular designer paper that is double-sided. So the gold, distressed gold, is white on the other side, and not a white that I think you would want to use. Because why would you want to cover up that gorgeous gold? And I have this cut to, I think 5, let me measure. I think I was going to make it a little bit narrower. Yeah, it's 5 1/4 by 4. So there alone is a gorgeous card base. And I have cut out already this stamp with the die that cuts it into 4 individual pieces. So I have the oak leaf, and I have it partially colored, so I'll finish coloring this. And 2 of the leaves, I'm not using these little flowers in this particular card. And then I ran it through again, so I had another set of leaves. So I'll color those out, or cut those out too. Or color it. Forgot what I said. And I want to show something else that with the blends, that last year we came out with, or Stampin' Up! Came out with, a set of markers, blends, that were a special purchase at that time, called Natural Tones Stampin' Blends. They're on page 128 in the annual catalog in the area that's called the Wow Factor. And I think a lot of people didn't realize that these were also in the catalog. So I did want to point that out. They can be used for skin tones, of course, and it shows up here, those different skin tones. But there are some beautiful browns and just neutral tones here that make these something that you don't really need a skin tone to work with. So I'm going to use a couple of those today, and I wanted to point that out. In addition to the regular Stampin' Blends of some Old Olive, Crumb Cake, those are two pretty good go-tos. And this is one I don't pull out very often. We also have markers for Bronze and Ivory. And when we came out with the blends, these were the original ones that could be used for a couple of different skin tones. These can also be used as other browns or light markers. So don't think of it as having to be just used with skin tones. And then I'm also using Petal Pink. So not really traditional fall colors, so to speak. Hey, Nancy, thank you. Welcome home, too. I'm glad to be back. So what I've already done on this one is colored with Crumb Cake, and then I've colored the, I want to say pine cones, but those are not pine cones, those are acorns. I colored those with the, what did I use here? I used what's called a Deep 100 on that. And let me put something under this so these don't bleed through on my pretty grid paper. So let's go back to a couple leaves that need to be colored here with the light Crumb Cake. And let's use the other end there. So what have you all been doing in the 3 weeks I've been gone? I can't believe the weather has changed so. I came home to cold and have to get out the long pants and heavier tops. The day that I left, it was going to be in the 90s still. And down there, they're kind of tired of the hot weather too, but I don't know that I'm ready for cold weather yet. So what I like to do with the blends is color with the light, then highlight with the dark, and then go back in and also blend a little bit more with the light color. And then these had already been done earlier. And let's add some, first of all, some light Old Olive. That's a good go-to green right now. And add a little bit of the dark. In the center. And then blend it with the light again too. And as I said, I used, I think I did, probably forgot, the light, no, the Deep 100 to do these acorns. But I'm just going to highlight that a little bit. Actually, I think that was a little bit darker. Maybe I used the bronze on that because I didn't write it down. There, that really highlights it a little bit, even with that medium. Ooh, that really makes it pop. Okay, and then these two I've already colored. and left this one here and decided to use Petal Pink. Just something light on the berries. They don't have to be red. I'm not even sure what kind of berries those come from. And kind of highlight a little bit with the darker Petal Pink. And back with coloring the leaves with the Old Olive. There we go. I figured coloring these ahead of time would save a little bit of time so you don't have to watch me color. There we go. And a little bit more to highlight it a little bit, because that really makes it pop, and that's the whole idea of blending with the alcohol markers. And that one I didn't highlight a whole lot. There we go. Okay, let's figure out how to arrange things on here. I know I want this to go here. I also, that does have an up and a down. I don't want my acorns to be going the wrong way. Let's see here. That looks pretty good. So let's see if my glue is going to work here. Yep. Because the glue will give me some wiggle room in case I want to move this around a little bit without getting it on my fingers. Because I want these to be flat, and then I will use some dimensionals to pop up the oak leaves. Yeah, that distressed gold is just gorgeous paper. Let's see, I think I want to move that up a little bit. All right. And let's put that away. And where did my dimensionals go? Okay, I've got some mini dimensionals here. That'll work. Hi, Nicole. Welcome. I miss our meetings too. I will get back on track for getting everybody caught up. It's been ever so long, so I'll get something posted. Okay, so lots of little minis here. Okay, my screen looks like I'm frozen, but looks like my connection is okay. So I hope everything's okay on your end. Okay, I think that will work. So let me know if everything's okay. I don't know why that looks weird. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going, so hopefully you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or a heads up on whether or not you can see me. I can't tell actually if there's a problem with Facebook or YouTube. All right, that's weird. That's never happened before. Okay, gonna keep going. All right, next is to add a banner. And I've already stamped the banner stamp. And now let's do Friends Frozen also. So I'm guessing that it must be something from Facebook. So I apologize. We'll have to see what, I can't tell from this end what happens, because actually I'm getting a better internet connection than I usually do. So something must be frozen on the Facebook stuff. Frozen on YouTube, but you can hear me. Oh my goodness. Okay. And Gloria, you can't see me either. Well, I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and finish the card, and I will post it on Facebook so that you can see the picture there. And I may need to re-record this. So let's see what goes on. Okay, I'm stamping the sending many thanks. In early espresso. And I'm stamping that on my Stampin' Pierce mat because that's what I use for photopolymers. And that's going to go across this, and I want to add adhesive on the left side and then add mini dimensionals on the right side. So let's get that glue out again. So I guess it's still frozen. So sorry for technology to be kind of crazy today. Not what I had hoped on my first day back. So when I go in to take a look at this when I'm finished here, maybe tonight I will just do it all over again and have an episode 99 rerun. So there we have sending many thanks. And to finish it off, we have some linen thread. And I like to double it. And then just tie a bow. And I'll add that with a glue dot. So I'm assuming that with the comments that nothing has changed. It does still say live and recording, but that's the best I can do. Okay, well, good thing you're not seeing this because I'm having trouble tying a bow. I think I cut my twine a little bit too short. There we go. And just snip that off. Grab a glue dot and see where we go from there. So there's the finished card. I'm holding it up to my phone, but I can't tell what's going on with that. All I can see is what's on my screen. But I'm going to add some champagne rhinestones. And I'm so glad that these keep carrying over into the catalog because they're just such a gorgeous color. And let's use my Take a Pick tool. And there are some tiny ones, and there are some kind of large ones. I think I'll stick with the tiny ones here. I've got 3. Let's make 5. Okay. So there's the finished card. And again, I know that this isn't being shown because it's not showing on my screen, but I will get a photo of it on YouTube. Excuse me, on Facebook, and see what happened there. And also send a picture of the other 2 cards that I made. One is a very, very simple one. This was based on my limited supplies that I had in Texas, and I just did some ink blending in the background with a blending brush. And sending many thanks. Super simple on that one. And then this is another one that I did this morning. And this is with Calypso Coral and was the full die cut. So it includes the flowers, the oak leaves, and the greenery on the left side. And I also used an embossing folder to go through with that. So I'm just going to finish now because I'm assuming that nothing has been actually recorded visually for about the last 5 or 10 minutes, perhaps. And I will either re-record this, start over again, and also call it episode 99, and see what happened. I'm not sure. So thanks for being here. If you can still hear me, not see me, I'm so glad that you showed up today, and I appreciate it. And I will either see you again later, or I will see you